So for you, coming into this project, I mean, first of all, the appeal of this project and the challenges of sort of creating a prequel to Batman from your point of view.
Yeah, no, I feel like everybody gets to do their best work when they're terrified, because you're terrified for a reason. The stress of doing this really focuses on you. It's not a bad thing to be stressed out, because it really makes you concentrate. Yeah, I was stressed and I was scared, but at the same time, I just was so certain. I sat down with Bruno, like, it's a long time ago now, but when he first pitched this to Fox, and we shared. Well, I started describing Gotham, and he was like, yeah, you should do it. It was literally that quick. We both shared the same idea of what the city was, and the story really is about the city. And if the city's real enough and relatable enough, but still romantic and poetic enough, then the drama is the endless drama we can have. It's fantastic.
Is there doing a prequel to Batman now? Is there something creatively freeing in a sense, or more challenging that you have to lead up to?
Yeah, no, the Nolan movies are, put them together as one movie. They're a masterpiece, and it was all because he made it so credible, and he made that character so like us. He was going through real adult trauma. It was a very feet on the ground, smart approach, and Christian was just magnificent. So going back in time, the pressure was, let's keep our feet on the ground, let's keep it very credible, let's make the city a bit more run down and spiraling out of control and decrepit and delicious, and still have the theatricalities of the comic book series. But let's inspired by Nolan, keep our feet on the ground and keep the drama real, and keep these villains real, and the danger and the threat of them real.
So how did you sound on the tone of the show and what tone you wanted?
Well, it's funny. It came from a couple of things. I mean, first of all, Bruno's voice, his dialogue. There's something. He's a very well-read guy. There's something lyrical about the way he writes. So instantly, like when you hear actors say those words, there is a theatricality to it. There's an intelligence and a history to what they're saying. And I really appreciated that. Costume was a big thing, that when we first started in pre-production, getting them in the right gear, we wanted to go slightly theatrical and slightly older, so there's it said everything about Gotham as in a place that has not been gentrified, a place that has not been refitted or glossed over with all Wall Street money. This is a place where everyone is corrupt, and the buildings are falling down, and the cars just keep fixing that old car and keep that going. The engine noises, the sounds in the city were all of the past. It was almost like Cuba that never moved forward. It's just lost in the past. And so the wardrobe went that way also. So one day, it was day 2 of shooting, I had to put Cobblepot into his outfit, and I was scared that putting that character into a New York street setting with extras dressed normally in the background, if there'd be some, and it didn't. It worked great. And I knew that I'd picked the right location. I knew that I had the right actor in the right outfit, and I got chills because I was like, this is going to work. It's credible, but it's like our poetic. It's like the fantasy I had of a city. There's something dangerous but beautiful.
Well, Bruno said that early on in the development of the show, that the Batman part of the story was very much subdued. It wasn't a big part of it, but that evolved and changed as it went on.
It did, because it's almost like we needed that cataclysmic event to jettison the rest of the story forward. Everybody knew that it's the most traumatic thing that's ever happened in Gotham was the shooting of the Waynes. So what better case to start the show with, and just put everybody in the shoes of, look, not even the richest man in the city is safe walking down this alleyway, and it was the best way to start the show off. And also going back and, well, I know we've seen Bruce Wayne grow up in flashbacks in the movies and all that stuff, but to actually sit with him a little while and see this idea germinate, gestate, over such a long slow burn and see how he's affected psychologically by this traumatic event. You know, a kid who has everything, but he's completely alone. You know, a kid with millions, with nothing to spend it on. And, you know, not just an anger building in him, but a frustration. To take our time with that, it's a beautiful luxury.
Have you felt confined by past Batman works, or have you been pretty able to be sort of free in what you wanted to do?
I got very terrified by having to do the alleyway scene, knowing that other directors with you know have done it so brilliantly in the past. But I freed myself up by going, you know, the Beatles are geniuses and they've written some great songs, but that doesn't mean to say nobody can ever play their songs again. So I freed myself up and said, I'm going to do a cover version. I'm going to give it all the heart and passion I can. And I'm going to hope that it touches people the same way it touched me when I first heard that Beatles song. And my shoulders dropped and I wiped my brow and I said, so let me do a good cover version. And as long as I live up to the theme of the shows emotionally, then I'll forgive myself any technical errors.
Thank you.
Cool.